Okay. And with that, I will hand it over to our very capable moderators, Mr. Sims and Ms. McQueba. Let's go for it.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And she's not joking about shutting off the mic if you get long-winded. So one of the things that we found in other forum formats is that we always start with the one person. So they're always first, and whoever's last is always last. So I know it's a minor detail, but we're going to try to flip it every time so that everyone has a chance to go first. And then we can get a true understanding of what everyone's saying. So, and thank all the candidates for being here this evening. So I guess I get the honor of starting. Okay. I think what we'll do now, I think is you get your 2 minutes to do your introductions. So she's ready if you're ready.
Who's going first?
Yes, I'm sorry. We'll start with Ms. Crainer. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It's really nice to see all of you. It's been a long time, hasn't it, that we've been able to gather together. My name is Ashley Crainer, and I am a progressive Democrat woman. Pro-choice, absolutely, and I'm a candidate that is running for your next Monroe County Recorder. I've been your Chief Deputy Recorder for the last 7 years. I have had the pleasure throughout my county career to work for the Commissioner's Office as their grants administrator and also for the Monroe County Health Department. And I currently serve on the Monroe County Health Board and have so for the last 12 years. Here's an overview of my goals that I want to accomplish as your next recorder. I'm going to increase public engagement with our community. I would argue, and I'm sure most of you would, that most people really don't know at the heart what the recorder does. Yes, we are statutorily, our main role is to record and to preserve and protect in perpetuity land documents that are related to ownership and transfers. We also deal with our veterans' release records, but we try and hook them up with our Veterans Affairs as often as we can. But that's just the minimum of what we do and what we can do. I also want to increase a recorder's office that's not only going to preserve and protect all of your local history, but also be a part of recognizing certain aspects of our history and doing that through inclusion and engagement. I'm going to utilize my 20-plus years as a public servant in this community to increase access and transparency to all of your public records. 2 primary goals: I'm going to centralize those public records. I'm going to bring all units of government together so that we can create a centralized space for preserving those records. I am going to commit to listening to the voices of our marginalized groups. I'm going to end there because I don't want to get in trouble. Thank you, Nicole.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank the caucuses for providing this opportunity for candidates. I'm Amy Swain, and I'm running for Monroe County Reporter. I grew up in Indiana. My mom was a poll worker and helped with absentee ballots. My dad ran for city council, unsuccessfully though, and I was involved with the YMCA Youth in Government program, where I actually served as the parliamentarian of the House in a mock legislature when I was in high school. So public service has always been important to me. I moved to Monroe County to attend Indiana University, where I received a degree in business. I'm one of the lucky ones that got a job using my degree here, and I married someone who lived locally. We'll be celebrating 32 years next week. As a student, I thoroughly enjoyed my new community and the wide range of people I encountered that were different from me. I learned about things I had never experienced growing up in small-town Indiana. The things I learned outside of the classroom were just as important as the things I learned in class. And I still have learning to do. It's something I embrace. I've worked in the public sector, the private sector, and for nonprofits, so I have a wide variety of experience to draw on. I'm adept at building good working relationships with key stakeholders, both internal and external. I served as the local president, state president, and Regional Vice President of the Exchange Club, which helps youth and homeless veterans and works to help prevent child abuse. I helped reestablish the Grace Center food pantry that serves our Southern District. Giving back to the community is something that's important to me. It's one of the reasons I'm running. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know if it's proper. Everyone give them a hand. Yeah. Thank you for your time. I know there's probably rules, but we're just going to have fun this evening. Here we go. So we are going to start, and I get the honor of asking the first question, and we're going to start with candidate Crainer. And then after your time is up, and then candidate Swain will have the answer before we go to the next question. And the first question is, if elected, what are some changes that you would immediately implement in the office of the recorder?
Thank you, Jim. So immediately, if I'm elected, there's several things that I want to do because I've already been working on them, and it would be a great opportunity to kickstart some of those. And one of them is to create a webpage on the county website that is inclusive of all departments with all of their databases with brief descriptions on it. So when you come to the recorder's office, most people usually have to go to either planning, assessor, auditor, legal. They have to go to a multitude array of different departments. And at this point in time, the county just has individual websites rather than a one-stop kind of shop for where you can find all of your data. So if you're off to get a building permit, you can hit a couple different offices via online before you have to physically come in and move between showers and the courthouse. And then secondly is I really want to increase public engagement. Over the past 7 years, I've worked pretty extensively in the back research area, talking to our title searchers. One of the things I've learned is that the title searchers are really well adapted to utilizing the recorder's office, but our law offices and our and our real estate agents, a lot of real estate agents, utilize our office, but I don't think they understand what we have available. And so what I want to do is create roundtables and training seminars for our real estate agents and other entities in order to do a little give and take and find out what it is they need and see if I already offer that. And if I don't, then I'll work towards accomplishing those goals for them. And then again, we are, which I'll have a chance to talk about, are the racial restrictions project that I've been working on over the course of the last 2 years. And again, there'll be a lot of engagement and public outreach and talking to those that have been the most impacted by this racially restrictive language that are in your deeds.
Okay. I don't plan to make big sweeping changes. Eric has done a good job the last 7 years, and I want to continue working on any initiatives that he's started. I'd like to see the work on the Fielder Archive Center completed and make it accessible to the public. It's hard to project what might be an immediate concern 8 months from now, but there are some things I'd like to address. Some of the documents that need to be recorded need to be notarized first. I'd like to see some of us in the recorder's office become notaries to save a trip upstairs and then back downstairs again. There are often many transactions a day that require a notary's signature, and this could easily be accommodated in the recorder's office. Where I work now, we use a messaging solution that allows us to communicate with our customers through text, including taking payments securely. Many people use texting as their primary or preferred method of communication, and I'd like to accommodate that preference if possible. We couldn't send the legal documents that way, but it might aid communications in other ways. Currently, DocsPop is a website that the public can access documents and pay securely, so there is that option. Right now, the recorder's office is unable to accept credit card payments because of the State Board of Accounts. Depending on when and how this is resolved, this messaging solution might be a good alternative. However, if it turns out the benefits are too limited or don't justify the expense, then we wouldn't move forward with it. I've been responsible for bringing money in for more than one nonprofit, so my mindset is always to make sure the change is intentional and not change for the sake of change, and that any expense is justified by the benefits it provides. So, like I said, there are some things that need looking into, but I'm good with what Eric has done the past 7 years, and I just want to continue that. Thank you.
Our next question goes first to candidate Swain. Why are you running for this position?
Thank you. So the office of recorder is term limited, and the incumbent, Eric Schmitz, can't run for re-election to a third term. My experience and skill set are well suited to be your next Monroe County recorder. The recorder's office preserves our local history through the legal recording of documents dealing with property, the bonds of our township officials, powers of attorney, firms doing business under another name, and military discharges for our servicemen and women, among others. It also helps the public find documents, indexes records for easier retrieval, collects payments, invoices, and collaborates with other Monroe County departments, such as the Assessor's Office and the Auditor's Office, on a regular basis. The recorder also works with the county clerk concerning the Local Records Commission. I have a degree in business from Indiana University and have worked with the types of businesses that interface with the recorder's office, such as banks, credit unions, mortgage companies, title companies, etc. At the YMCA, I led up to 50 people that provided direct service to the public and handled invoicing and collecting payments. I've done payroll, balanced budgets, hired and trained staff, and worked with other departments to provide services and plan for the future. In my current position, I serve as the liaison to the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, the Better Business Bureau, and a number of outside vendors. As records archivist for the City of Bloomington, I assembled original public record documents with all addenda. I created and maintained a database of digitized original records to allow public access and to preserve the historical information. I'm comfortable with technology. This has become increasingly important as more and more people are doing business online. I'm more than qualified to be your next Monroe County recorder. Thank you.
Candidate Crainer, same question. Why are you running for this position?
Thank you. I'm running for Monroe County Recorder because experience really does matter. This is an administrative office. Eric and I have established relationships, policies, procedures, protocols with these various offices for the last 7 years. Eric is the recorder, but I am his, as he likes to call me, his first mate. And I do a lot in this office. And one of the things that profoundly became so important was during COVID. So when we talk about experience matters and keeping the administration and keeping the deeds and keeping the businesses alive and moving when the whole entire county and state shuts down, you're going to need somebody in there that knows how to deal with our emergency protocols, that's there the day after everybody is sent home in order to process those deeds for the families that are counting on it, and the law offices and the title companies and the banks. Everybody was waiting on the recorder's office. It came down to us, and that wouldn't have been accomplished. It would have been a nightmare, frankly, if we had been brand new when this came on. So I was really, really thankful that we had 6 years, 5-6 years in the recorder's office to do those things. And the other part of it is that, educating the public is super important about what the recorder's office can and can't do. The recorder's office can't notarize documents. I mean, we can't notarize documents that we're legally recording. And the other part of it is that I want to make a really quick point here. The Jim Fielder's archives are totally available to the public. All you got to do is make an appointment and come on in. Now, I definitely want to evolve it so that it's open door, but that's going to take years.
Okay, just looking around, make sure we don't step on anyone's toes. Thank you, both candidates, for your answer. Our next question, and we'll start with candidate Crainer first, please. And the question is, if elected, what will you do to improve the quality of life for Black and brown residents?
Jim, I think that's such an important question for every candidate to be considering in our community. And my time serving on the Board of Health during the pandemic has taught that whether we realize it or not, our race impacts all of our lives. And it impacts certain lives harder than others. And that's the privilege of being white that we just don't even have to think about. We had to think about it. The health department created a working group of people from marginalized communities, and their input was absolutely invaluable, and it most likely saved lives. And I'm proud to work and represent the health department and the work that folks like Makwibi did on that particular committee. As a health board member, I really pushed to have those goals and measurable impacts of inclusion of marginalized groups put in our strategic plan. And I'm super, super proud that that came to fruition. As a health board member, I am a health board member if I didn't mention that to anybody. One of the things that I think is super important also is that if you step inside our county courthouse, it's a really white space. There are actionable things that we can do, such as, if you're running a department, you can examine our hiring practices, try to recruit in more equitable ways, and ensure that you're actively creating a welcoming environment for everyone. You just got to get out there and try and go to places that are kind of unusual, not just the HT and the Monroe County Bulletin. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Crainer. Candidate Swain, same question. If elected, what will you do to improve the quality of life for Black and brown residents?
The recorder doesn't set policy or pass legislation that helps a large group of people. It helps a large group of people, one person at a time. I would work to ensure that every person who does business with the office feels welcomed and is given an assistance in a professional, friendly, and thorough manner. For example, I want every home buyer, especially a first-time home buyer, to have confidence that when they close on a new home, there won't be any legal discrepancies or disputes, and they can have that same confidence when they sell it. I've worked alongside and served a diverse group of people from all over the world, from different types of backgrounds, with different cultural observances, different religious beliefs, and even different native languages. I respect them all, and I hope I earned their respect. I have trusted friends that I can reach out to when I have questions. I've taken training on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I would recommend it. I welcome any person or group to address with me any issue that they have with the office. It's up to us to work together to help effect the change we want to see happen. Some people think that because we've had a Black president and our current vice president is both of African American and Asian American descent, that we've arrived. I remember one person said, "We've had a lot of firsts," and that's true here in Monroe County as well. But let's choose not to be satisfied with that. Let's keep moving forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Final question first goes to candidate Swain. Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
Yes, I do. I acknowledge and respect the fact that Black lives do matter. I think that every Black person deserves the chance to reach their full potential. How Black people are treated by me as an individual, as an elected official, and as a member of this community matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Question goes to candidate Crainer. Same question. Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
Yes, I unequivocally believe that Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. And when I think about, the Black people that are in my own life, I hear their Black hopes. They tell me about their Black dreams. And I get to see some of their Black people's joy and sorrow and pain and frustration and fear. Saying Black Lives Matter is literally the minimum that we can do. We live in an intentionally segregated society, and if we truly want to end racism, then we have to be intentional about desegregating our society. We have to be willing to move beyond our own personal comfort zones because lasting change, as we all know, it just doesn't happen while you're comfortable and things are good. Making efforts to building genuine relationships and friendships with people of color and listen to them. I challenge all of you guys to do that. I challenge everyone to do that. Let's just not wait until we have some sort of racial issue to seek out their input. We need to support POCs, people of color, to lead organizations and help them get elected here in Monroe County. And we're working on that collectively, and I'm very proud of that. It's why I'm trying to do my small part to shine a little bit of light on these racially restrictive covenants and this language that is in our deeds and in the plats, so that our community can absolutely recognize the past injustice for our people, and let's build for a better future for them. There's things that we can do legally to change this language so that we don't have to pass that on. Thank you.
Thank you all very, very much. You can give them a round of applause if you like. Thank you for your answers. And since we intend to have a totally transparent space, my moderator, co-host, her first name is pronounced Maquiba, just for future reference. Maquiba. Thank you. Now, to end this segment, the candidates will have 1 minute for their closing statement. And we will start first with candidate Crainer.
Well, I want to thank our monitors, Maquiba. You did some great work on that panel with the community group, with the Monroe County Health Department, and I really appreciate all your work. And Mr. Jim Smith for moderating tonight's forum. Also, Sims, I said Smith, and I'm getting everything wrong. I want to thank the moderators, Maquiba and Jim Sims, for moderating tonight's forum. Also to the Monroe County Black Caucus and the Indiana Latino Democratic Caucus of the 9th District for hosting tonight's event. Lastly, beginning tomorrow and up to May 3rd, you have an opportunity to vote for me, Ashley Crainer, for Monroe County Recorder and Precinct Chair for Perry 6 and State Delegate for District 4. I ask for your vote, and I thank you all tonight. I really appreciate everybody being here. It's nice to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Candidate Kramer. Candidate Swain, closing statement. You have 1 minute, please.
Thank you. I'm a results-oriented leader with more than 20 years of experience improving the bottom line and overall organizational performance. I'm a strategic and innovative problem solver who looks for long-term solutions. Voters twice elected me to serve 4-year terms on my township board, which elected me as president. Since that time, I've served as township clerk, so I'm familiar with the State Board of Accounts, which also works with the Recorder's Office. I'm comfortable with technology. I'm the webmaster for my company and could easily update the Recorder's page on the Monroe County website. I would also be able to troubleshoot problems on the spot. Your recorder should be a person who is good with the public and staff, who is highly organized and a hard worker, and one who has proven integrity when dealing with public funds. I won't just say the right things, I'll do the right things. I'm Amy Swain, and I ask for your vote for recorder. Thank you all.
Thank you both very much, candidates. Now we're in the process of switching for our next segment. Please join everyone out here and campaign even further. Thank you very much.